Hey everyone, welcome to my budget Poison Blade Vortex Assassin in Path of Exile. Meta builds cost meta prices, and since nobody's playing this build, the items are stupid cheap. I found a unique X from the lab boss, sold it for 20 chaos, traded a little bit, and now I can play it again. Most of the biz gear cost barely 1 chaos orb. My insane crit amulet with Anoint cost me a total of 7 chaos orbs, which is just crazy to me. At the end of campaign I struggled with this build, not going to lie, I ripped a lot at the end, real cringy stuff. Now, geared in 6-link armor, biz weapon, Anoint amulet, more than 10,000 evasion, 100% spell suppression, right after campaign feels like cheating. I also followed a path of building, but I ended up as always adjusting the build to my liking, and now this build is a mix of 3 POBs and some ideas from those other 2 Blade Vortex Assassins on PoE Ninja. With that being said, let's jump in. So let's start off with a Mercenary here quick, since it's the new feature in this league. This merc is absolutely insane. I think it's the best one I've found. He never died so far, and most importantly, he gives me determination and vitality. Yeah, his gear is not out of this world, but he's just so insane because of these auras. He's using Vigilant Strike, Enduring Cry. They can also get Fortify. He has these boots here, unaffected by damaging alignments. I actually want to reroll a build, play something like this. I want to walk around like a mercenary here. Absolutely crazy. I'm a little bit scared because I have no idea how to find this merc again. And sooner than later I need him in a higher level. So he's only level 68, still viable. But yeah, I need to figure it out. How to level him up or how to find this merc again. It's the only time I saw a dual aura merc. And yeah, insane tank and of course our aura bot. The best possible merc I could find so far for my build. So in my skill bar at the rotations I have Blade Vortex. This can be stacked up to 10 swirling blades. I have a debuff to reduce the resistances for chaos damage. My movement skill is Flame Dash. This is like the automation thingy. As you can see right now, rocks all the time. And of course the trap. Lake Bearer, the poison aura when it's activated. Shit out all the collected poison damage. For my auras, so the merc gives determination and vitality. And I have Grace, Clarity, Flesh and Stone, and Herald of Agony. Herald of Purity would also be nice. Well, yeah, either Flesh and Stone. This also can be swapped for damage or defense. Right now I have it on defense. Yeah, Herald of Purity would be also viable, but it reserves more mana. So I went with Flesh and Stone instead. It does something similar, but it's easier on the mana pool. So I would proc my flasks, run around faster. Damage. Activate my Plague Bearer. And everything dies. That's basically, that's the rotation. So the first thing I did, I got the amulet with the Anoint. Really good power boost for the build because all this stuff revolves around crit chance and this gives just a massive amount. In my case, more than 300%. GG. The absolutely endgame biz amulet would cost a little bit more. It's a +3 to Vortex skill gems amulet. Gives plus skills for specifically for this build. And a role can have different outcomes, so it's expensive to get a one with +3 to Vortex. Because like last time I looked it up with like 3 or 4 div. But until then, this is really good. And also recommended in pretty much every build or every other Blade Vortex setup I've seen. I don't want to bother, I just bought this for Cannot Be Frozen. I don't have to worry about catching any boss in the map as of now. So that's pretty chill. Also, Devouring Diadem got nerfed and gives no plus skill anymore to the auras. I don't know. For now, this is pretty decent. This is decent. 2 to level of socketed aura gems. And yeah, Cannot Be Frozen is nice to have on Helm. And most importantly, increased mana reservation efficiency. I have a 6-link armor now. I bought just a okay-ish random crap corrupted 6 link for my Blade Vortex here. 21 right now, thanks to +3 from Cold Iron Point. And right now, like I was lucky and corrupt 1. This is a good corruption, increased spell damage. I'm not sure if I really feel a difference. The thing is, the crit itself would count more for the attack that's going on within the skill tree, but spell damage itself scales basically the core poison damage up and counts for my Seismic Trap as well, because now it's a little bit of hybrid, a little bit of hybrid setup until I can have Malevolence up as well. But that will take a few more level, probably Eldritch Battery maybe, and then I can fit this super expensive Malevolence aura. The real MVP here is item Rarity support with Plague Bearer. Plague Bearer has quite a decent range, and it's just so funny. Try to be at range, so you get the kill with Plague Bearer, and every other boss, every other pack drops a legendary. It's so nice, man. I guess I found this 20 Chaos X, which I sold because of this item Rarity support gem. It's just absolute screen obliteration. And I also like the trap for engaging. This is only pseudo melee. Like I need to be in melee range for the Blade Vortex. But that's not particularly a build where you want to face tank mobs. It's more like elusive, walking literally through the monsters. And everything melts from like the poison aura and stuff. So always engaging with Blade Vortex feels not great. As of now, with starter gear, you know? So therefore, throwing some traps, checking out, alright, now I can engage, that's really good playstyle. That's a really fun and good playstyle. I mentioned 100% spell suppression in the title, in the intro. Clickbait. No, if I have like 1 or 2 more level, I'm really at 100% spell suppression. So now it says 94. And when I get this one, I need 1 more skill point and then I'm at 100%. Like 15% chance to suppress spell damage if equipped helm, body armor, gloves and boots have evasion rating. The resistances are okay-ish. I'm using a Ming's Heart and a rare ring. I would recommend that. There's another ring called Icefang Orbit, really nice. All of a sudden I have access to chill by poisoning. Like that's a really nice ring. But to fix the resistances, yeah, one unique ring, 1 rare ring, and Ming's Heart is just so good for the massive boost to Chaos Rares and of course the insane damage. I've seen people running 2 Mings, of course, but I wanted to have a little bit more balanced across the board. What else? Belt should be a Stygian Wise with a nice jewel. Until then, a belt with strength, life, and resistances is really nice. Other than that, gloves. That's the next upgrade I will trade for. There are unique gloves. Forgot the name to be honest, but they have temporary chains on striking. What the heck? That sounds OP, and they are like best in slot and a little more expensive for a reason, I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be the gloves next. For the setup here, because I'm so lazy, I have automation support, Withering Step, and Steel Skin, so this gets just cast automatically by walking. It of course still costs mana, so I would recommend at least 100 unreserved mana to have this somewhat smooth, because if you spam ability all the time and you are out of mana, this will not proc, of course, right? It still consumes mana. So something to keep in mind. My other sockets here, yeah, Seismic Trap to have this to deal a little bit damage. I think it says almost 10k, 9.5k damage. That's not too bad. Advanced traps here for the cooldown. Rapid mine damage, just for flat damage. And FEK. For the shield, Leper's Arms, really good shield. Gives everything the build wants. I have a cast when damage taken support gem here and Immortal Call. And just to play in Flame Dash, important note on this shenanigans here, this should be level 1. The cast and damage taken support should be level 1. And the Immortal Call should be level 3. The reason is, we want to have it to proc all the time. And if I would level cast damage when damage taken support, I would need to get hit more in order to proc this. So it's totally stupid to level this up. And also, let's say I level cast with damage taken support more than I leveled it up more than Immortal Call, then this won't work. It's a little bit cheesy, but it is what it is. This on level 1, this on level 3. Just a defense layer. I talked about the jewelry. In the offhand, just some blade vortex gems for leveling in order to corrupt them and hope for plus skill, I guess. My flasks. It's also the reason why I'm wearing them. Why I'm wearing Ming's Heart. So Ming's Heart and CORRRRRALITO is a good combo, I think, because I take chaos damage when this is active. That's an insane damage boost right here. But I also, the drawback is I take chaos damage. Therefore, I want good res, so I'm not accidentally unaliving my character here by using this buff. A life flask for immunity to bleed. This one probably should replace this for one with armor. Movement speed, and just a whatever mana flask. It's really nice. When I didn't have the trades going, and I didn't have the like 30, this build is now 20 to 30 chaos in total. And before that, I farmed Heist, I farmed the lab boss. I actually somewhat speed farmed the lab with this, not the uber lab, but like the third one. Absolutely viable in my humble opinion. I found only good loot there from the boss and so on. Good trades. Yeah, this lab and Heist for starting out. And maybe have a little bit of luck or grind Heist for like 10 chaos, 20 chaos. Boom. Trade for the gear. Have fun. I really enjoy the build. I know the scaling, like this will hit a brick wall in late game. I know that. This build cannot kill the field. You can dump 100 div into this, or 1000 div, doesn't matter. It cannot kill the field boss. Such a headache. Other than that, okay, if the progression for me personally, but this is nothing that's going on like in 3 days, but more like during the course of a league for me personally, a nice progress would be using this to farm up, and then when I have enough currency to actually, when I could do Ubers, I swap to Ice Trap Assassin, and that's one of the best Uber boss killers in the game, period, with this two-hand staff to scale up the elemental damage and so on. At first I took Noxious Strike, then Toxic Delivery to scale just the poison damage up more and have the crit shenanigans. In third, I took Opportunistic. Damage from your crits cannot be reflected, and 25% more damage, and there's a basically 25% flat damage against bosses. And the last one is here, Mist Walker. They have this elusive on crit, which is basically all the time then. That's a good buff. It's a decent buff. Nothing out of this world, but it's a good buff. Other than that, yeah, the most important notes are, like when I was leveling, I rushed this one, Fatal Toxins, just for 30%. It was really nice. I'm not sure if I would level with Ethereal Knives again, to be perfectly frank with you. I think I was a little bit lame. Last time I played this exact build, I was using it's a Archer skill, just a bow ability, Mirage Archer or something, I don't remember, it's been a while. And they're obliterated. Not sure if that's up to date, but yeah. That's up to you how you would level this. I used Ethereal Knives, was okay-ish. Then Bladefall, Blade Blast was also okay-ish. But yeah, 20 chaos, get the build going. Before that, it's a little bit awkward, I'd say. Another very important note is here, this one, exceptional performance for the skilled effect duration. So those blades spin longer for blade vortex. And therefore, it's easier to stack it up to 10. I think I can count to like 5 in my head. It takes like 4 or 5 seconds. Right? Just chill. I don't have to spam this. Oh, panic, panic. I need to have it at 10 stack. No, it's all good. I count like to 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast it again, and I'm constantly on 10 stacks basically. That's why the skill effect duration is so important in this build. I also have 2 jewels. I think one cost 1 chaos. I paid 2 chaos for the other one. Insanely cheap, just increased poison damage and life. This one also came with resistances, which is neat. What else to say here? Yeah. So, as I said in the intro, pretty much stolen all from like 5, 6 different builds, and I'm making my own thing a little bit. The next will be more damage scaling. Serpent Spellslinger, I will max this here, and I will skill this here. Then Eldritch Battery, boom. Then I hopefully can equip Malevolence as well. If I really wanted to, if I feel the need to, or yeah. If I would grind the heck out of this character, I would probably end up with some cluster jewel here. That would be insane. Or just for fun, of course, you know, this is giga off meta. One would say, hey bro, it's not even worth spending any currency on this build. I like it. I also played it several times. I also doesn't have to be an assassin. I think Elementalist is viable. I traded with one guy and he was like a clone of me, right? He had like the same gear, same shield, same cold arrow point dagger, but it was a different class. It was a Pathfinder. Pathfinder and Elementalist or Assassin, I think, are the 3 viable ascendancies. If you want to go with the poison route, Assassin or Pathfinder, and the Elementalist is probably with elemental damage.